this season. Got back into wrestling. This is my first time coaching wrestling. Well, I haven't been a head coach or an assistant wrestling coach in 15 years. Still been involved in it. At whatever school I was a head football coach, and I'm still pretty involved in it. But I thoroughly enjoy this sport. It's a great sport. I think even though being a head football coach for 15 years, I still think this is the greatest sport out there. Definitely the toughest sport, physically for the athletes, but also for parents, because you're going over, for one thing, you're seeing your child out there getting contorted. Okay, I mean, I watched my own son get contorted last weekend or a couple weeks ago, and it scared the mess out of me. Hurt his neck a little bit, but he was fine. He got up, bounced back. You know, it shows a lot about life. It's great to be because it's a one-on-one combat. And it's great self-defense, and it also teaches you a lot about when you're down in life, will you fight back? You know, will you continue to try to get better at things and move on? And so that's why I think wrestling is great for every person. I know it's a tough sport, it's not for every person, but it's great for every person, I think, because it teaches them a lot of great skills. And I've had many groups in my time. This is my 22nd year in high school athletics, but my years in wrestling is so much different, and the bonds that I've had with athletes in wrestling is so much different than any of the 15 football seasons as a head coach. My 7 years in wrestling was great because I still talk to those kids. I still go to birthday parties of their kids. Well, most of them are married now because I'm getting older. Most of them are up, married, all those things, but it's great to have great young people that you're involved in. And this group right here is a special group, obviously, because one reason for me is my first year back into wrestling. But they're a very good group of people. That's the thing that I enjoy the most about wrestling. It's a different breed of people, and you have great people in the sport of wrestling. And for it to be such a combative sport, when you go to a tournament, you have people, friends with people from everywhere. You know, and it's just an odd way of things. I don't understand how to say that. But football's not quite like that. Wrestling is. It's just a different world. I love it. Love you guys. I thank you for, parents, thank you for putting up with me. I know in athletes, I'm not the easiest person to get along with sometimes. But what I do want from you is the best thing for you and to push you to be a better person when you leave the program. If you're a better person when you leave this program, then Coach Minnick and I have done our job as coaches. Because we want to develop and help you as parents develop your children into better people. If they're good wrestlers, that's a plus. But if they're really good people, that's 2 pluses. Okay? Thank you again for allowing me to work with your child. And thank you because wrestling is so hard because it's 2 holidays. You got to go through 2 holidays of wrestling. You got Thanksgiving and Christmas. Okay, that's tough. And it's tough for you to deal with family time and practice time too. Thanks again. Appreciate it. Coach probably don't want me to talk that long, but I get long-winded sometimes. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. Okay, for being supporting of our wrestling program.
Alright, so we're going to do something we haven't been able to do in a few years. We've had COVID, we've had just last year kind of with COVID and all this stuff like that, I just forgot to do it. And that's to kind of give out letters and bars and captain stars for some of you guys that haven't had it maybe since your first or second year wrestling, especially. So no particular order, is kind of how you waited at the beginning of the season. Right, getting his letter from last year and his bar for letter to get this year. Zach Rathbone.
All right.
Earning his letter in wrestling, Cam Johnson. Earning his 2 captain stars, one from last year, one from this, and 2 bars for now should be his 4th year varsity wrestling. Gabe Perry. you'd have to get that through, I think Jolson's doing the letter jackets, and Jolson's does that as well. So if you're interested in getting that big letter and or letter jacket, or just a letter, then that's going to be Jolson. Sorry, we don't do that. School, I should say, doesn't do that. Right. So that's how that works. So, so point is, any of you that had letters, like you get a bar or whatever, then you're just missing your letter, let me know. And at the end, if we have extra, I'll give you that. Otherwise, I will get you. Ernie, 2 bars for a total of should be 4 years of service now. Mr. Jacob.
All right.
Ernie, the Captain Star, 2 bars, and a North Carolina High School Athletic Association State Invitational Participant receipt certificate. Kate Collins.
All right, yeah.
Sorry about that. Ernie, her letter from last year and a bar for this year. Haley. Ernie, his varsity letter in wrestling. Willie Sturgis.
All right. Got the guns out. Okay.
Ernie, the Captain Star, and 2 bars for a total of 4 years of service. Blake Andrews.
All right, Blake. That was like the wrestling man.
Earning his varsity letter in wrestling, Zach P. Earning his varsity letter in wrestling, Keegan Barner. Earning his varsity letter in wrestling. Alex Kane. And earning his varsity letter in wrestling, Alex Peterson. Alright, I hope I didn't miss it. Okay. Alright. Now, our main event. But first, as Coach said, thank you parents for all the effort. Thank you for waking up early on Saturdays, getting your kids here. Thank you for putting up with all this stuff that comes with wrestling, especially new parents, not knowing what's happening, and all of some of these strange things that are happening about weigh-ins and all this stuff, and things you did and what to do, when to do. You got tries, we got quads, we got dual tournaments, we got individual tournaments, and if you've never been through this before, it's a lot, right? So we appreciate your patience for bearing with us, and sometimes, we forget that as well. We've been doing it for so long, we take things for granted.
I thought I was the only one that was like that. I was, Coach, what's this?
Seniors, as Coach was saying, and the team in general, though we have a lot of seniors here. I've been here 7 years now, this is my 7th year here, and I can't remember because there hasn't been a time where we've had such a great group of coaching people, and especially our seniors, right? We got a lot of seniors who use it. Great families. This is the largest, the past 2 years have been the largest banquets we've ever had here, so this is a great community, and I'm going to be really, really sad to see our parents and seniors go. I don't know when we'll be able to replace it. Thank you. All right, people that'll be back next year. Our upcoming workouts for those starting in next month, April, right? We'll get the first year people out, we'll get them the basics so that when you go to the mat, when you get to the mat, we don't stop to show people a little lazy guys. Okay. So look for those for you guys by the beginning of April, right? Make sure your physicals are up to date. Obviously, if you got a physical right before last start this season, then you're going to be good until next year when it starts. But if you had it last year, then it's going to start to expire. Okay? Obviously, if you're doing spring sports, you can't participate until spring sports is over. Okay, so no pressure there. We're glad you're doing spring sports. Alrighty. So season had some ups and downs, right? We got some injuries, we got some people that are no longer with us. For academic reasons. Our first award then is going to be our Coaches Award. The Coaches Award is traditionally awarded to a wrestler who demonstrates a great commitment to our wrestling program. This wrestler went 5-11 this year. He regularly put forth great effort throughout the season. He regularly practiced with a partner that weighed 50 pounds more than him and would oftentimes place a beating on him. Despite all this wrestler never complained or asked for another lighter partner. It's tough when you have to wrestle the heavyweight. This recipient rarely, if ever, missed practice, despite being a freshman that had never wrestled before. This year's Coach's Award goes to Daniel.
All right.
Our next award is the Toughest Trojan Award. The Toughest Trojan Award is one of my favorite awards to give out. It signifies an overall tough character, and the recipient usually displays a lot of grit despite adversities, whether on or off the mat. This year's Toughest Trojan wrestlers hard in matches and in practice. They went 24-11, racking up 6 falls and 3 tech falls. They have displayed determination to help the team, whether by winning when needed or by saving the team points by not getting pinned. And this person was only pinned twice this entire season, which I believe is the lead of the team. So tough to pin, tough to turn. This recipient is hard to turn on bottom and rides hard on top. He has surprised Coach Paxton and myself several times this year by winning matches that on paper said he should have lost, simply by outworking his opponents. Despite I just typed to say now. So he's got whatever it takes. I don't got to know what I'm going with. He's got excellent sportsmanship, often displaying. This makes sense. Okay, sorry. Despite his whatever it takes, no matter how I feel, attitude, he always displays excellent sportsmanship. Oftentimes displaying concern should his opponent get injured during matches. He's an outstanding young man, as well as the dumbest smart kid we know. It's been a pleasure to have him on the team for the past 4 years, and we know he'll do a great job with what is in store for him in the future. Thanks for your hard work and dedication to your team. We're proud of you. We'll miss you. This year's Toughest Trojan Award goes to Blake Andrews.
That was a term of endearment. Yes. We love him to death, but he was so spacey at times. I had to give him a nickname.
All right. Next, most improved. Our most improved wrestler this year has wrestled for the first time last year, and to be honest, they struggled. However, this year things began to click for them, and they displayed a tremendous amount of improvement. This year they went 13-13 with 9 pins. This person works hard during practice, and they kind of have to when they drill the senior every day. They seek opportunities to compete and get outside practice during off days and outside of the traditional wrestling team schedule. They are also one of the first people to ask me repeatedly, well before the season begins, and I'm pretty sure again the day after the season ended, Coach, when are we going to have workouts? She recently told me her goal before she graduates is to pin me during practice. Now, I hope you reach that goal, but you're going to have to earn it. I'm looking forward to another 2 years with her, our most improved wrestler, Haley Warner. All right, the Trojan Award. The Trojan Award goes to a groundbreaker at Northwest Cabarrus Wrestling. They've had a record this year of 26-14, with the team leading 21 victories by pin. We've had women on the team before. She arrived to us. However, we have never had the dedication or leadership from a woman. I know that sounds bad. That we've had from her. For 4 years on this team, she busted her home food through in the girl women's wrestling. She'll wrestle whoever, wherever, whenever, win or lose without complaint, because she knows it's for the team. This year she was able to reach one of her goals, and definitely a goal I had for her, and she was so close to this goal last year. But it wasn't to be. This year, she did. She not only won a match against a male, 2 actually, she pinned that man. She has competed during the off-season for several years, going to numerous tournaments out of state. She puts in the outside work needed to be a great wrestler, even when she's asleep in the middle of the day on her couch, rather than in the workout. leadership on the team the last 2 years has been a great asset to the team. She also might be the only person on this team that knows how to keep score low. She has been invaluable to me as a coach. The rest of the women and those who come after owe her a gratitude attitude for paving the way for the women's wrestling in Northwest. I'm very proud of her, and we're all going to miss her. This year's Trojan Award goes to Kate Miller. And finally, our most valuable wrestler. Tournaments award MOWs, or Most Outstanding Wrestler. And I've never liked this term. It just sounds weird to me. I guess it makes sense in the tournament setting where you've got 14 different champions and you need to separate the good from the great. But for our team, I don't like the wording. Right or wrong. I give out a Most Valuable Wrestler, or MVW. This wrestler is determined by the coaches to be the most valuable wrestler on our team. The factors that determine our MVW are skills on the mat, leadership, teamwork, and sportsmanship. This wrestler displays all of those attributes. He has worked hard throughout his career to improve himself as a wrestler and as a person. He displays leadership on the mat, in the school, and in his community. He regularly helps his teammates by giving rides and coaching his partners during practice, even while he's wrestling them, which can be a difficult multitask. He is very gracious in victory and humble in defeat, always seeking ways to improve himself after matches, win or lose. This year he went 33-13 with 18 pins and was awarded all conference honors. He puts in a ton of work during the offseason and has wrestled in numerous offseason tournaments. He is an outstanding young man with a great future ahead of him. I know you'll make us even prouder than we already are. Thanks for a great 4 years. We'll miss you. And this year's most valuable wrestler is Cabarrus.